What's happening there in the city at the moment?
Well, there's continuing aftershocks. One of them's just stopped, but it was a pretty big one. And there's a lot of office workers on the outside, not being allowed back into their buildings, and trains stopped. Mobile phone networks are down. It's not the epicenter here in Tokyo, but it has been quite dramatic.
People there will be used to these events, but given the magnitude of this and the scale of it, clearly even they realise now this is, as indeed the government officials have said, a major disaster.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Japan for about 8 years, and this was the strongest and the longest earthquake I've gone through. It really was quite scary. Things were books falling off the shelves, electrical appliances on the floor. Really quite something. I mean, everyone here obviously has done earthquake preparations and so on pretty much routinely, but actually experiencing one is quite something.
The Prime Minister, Nato Kan, asking people to help family and neighbours, for the Japanese population to pull together, to try, as he said, to minimise damage, act fast. I mean, how are people reacting? What are they doing?
I mean, people are, surprisingly calm. I think the earthquakes are quite common in Japan. Most people, like I say, are now outside their offices because it's now rush hour. Would normally be rush hour here, and the train lines are down. There's a lot of people outside unable to get home, but the spirits are reasonably good, and I don't think anyone is too scared by it in Tokyo. But obviously further north, the pictures are really quite dramatic. Seems like the damage has really been quite extensive. So I think the situation further north in the country is really much worse than it is in Tokyo.
Yes, particularly in the northeast, it seems, is the picture we're getting as well. Well, as I was saying, that in Geneva, the United Nations offering 30 international search and rescue teams to help assistance. But we assume that the Japanese emergency response is pretty well drilled, well rehearsed, Simeon.
Yeah, you'd certainly hope so. I think the last really major earthquake in Kobe many years ago, though the response then wasn't as good as it could have been. But I know there was a lot of criticism at the time of how long it took to react to that one, and hopefully the situation this time will be better. But I mean, I don't know how much you can really prepare for a tsunami, an earthquake perhaps, but if a wall of water slams into your city, as it has done in several cities in the north, there's a limited amount that anyone's going to be able to do about it. But if anyone responded well to it, you would hope that the Japanese would be more used to it than most.